ready for my story. I see children sitting crisscross applesauce. I see children with hands in their laps. I see children with looking eyes, listening ears, and their lips are zipped. The name of our story today is You Can Do It, Sam. And this is a story about a kind bear. The story is written by the author, Amy Hest, that's who wrote the words, and it's illustrated by Anita Jeram, and Anita Jeram drew the pictures. It happened one winter morning on Plum Street, and the moon was still up, making moonbeams and shadows on Plum Street. When there's light behind something, it can make shadows. I see shadows of the houses and the fox. In the little white house, Mrs. Bear and Sam were baking cakes. They stirred with big spoons, swirling and tasting the batter. Can you pretend to taste out there, boys and girls? Batter is the liquidy substance that will turn into the cakes. They peeked into the oven at the 2 rows of cakes, golden brown cakes for their friends on Plum Street. Here are all the ingredients they use to make the batter. I see flour and eggs and butter. Oh, yummy. Come on, cakes, whispered Sam. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's very hard to wait when you're doing something exciting. Mrs. Bear and Sam waited for cakes. Now can we go, Mama? Now, said Sam. Soon, Mrs. Bear said. Soon, Sam. Those both words start with an S. Soon, Sam. I hear that sound. They waited and waited. And then at last, Mrs. Bear sniffed the air with her nose in the air and said, I believe our cakes are ready. Mrs. Bear and Sam counted cakes, and there were 12. 12 cakes, boys and girls, make a dozen. They tucked them into bags, and there were 12 red bags. That's perfect. 12 cakes, 12 bags. 1 cake goes in each bag. Outside snow tumbled on houses, and it sprinkled the trees. It powdered the yard and Mrs. Bear's truck. Mrs. Bear and Sam climbed up in the truck that was... What color is that, boys and girls? I bet some of you know that. Green. Look, she has a license plate called Bear 1. They bumped along in the early light, just the 2 of them on Plum Street. Uphill and down, up and down, to the very end of Plum Street. Our friends will love my cakes, Sam told his mama. Of course, Mrs. Bear said. Mrs. Bear pulled up close to the first sleepy house. Here we are, Sam. I'll wait here and you take the cakes. All by myself? Asked Sam. Go, go, go. Mrs. Bear put her arm around Sam. She said, You can do it, Sam. And off he went, all by himself, boys and girls. All by himself in new snow. All by himself, waving a red bag and waving to Mrs. Bear. All by himself, taking cake to their friends. Sam left the red bag at the door. The sign on the bag said, a tasty surprise. Tasty means yummy or delicious. Good. Then he ran back to the truck where his mama was waiting. I did it, said Sam. Of course, Mrs. Bear said. Sam was so excited, and I bet he felt proud because he did something all by himself. He gave his mama a nose kiss. If your grown-up is with you, boys and girls, you can try giving them a nose kiss. That's a fun way to show how much you love someone. Mrs. Bear and Sam bumped along, just the 2 of them, uphill and down, up and down. At each sleepy house, Mrs. Bear stopped the truck. She put her arm around Sam. "Here I go," whispered Sam. "Go, go, go," Mrs. Bear said. "Boys and girls, let's help Sam. Everybody say, go, go, go." And off he went, making tracks in the new snow, waving a red bag and waving to Mrs. Bear, leaving one tasty cake at each sleepy door, all by himself. Until they got home, there were 2 cakes left in 2 red bags. Said Mrs. Bear. "I wonder what they're thinking. 2 cakes left. What would you do if there were 2 cakes left?" Sam whispered, "For us." "Of course," Mrs. Bear said. Mrs. Bear and Sam held hands on the path to the little white house, and the sun was just sunning up the little white house. Boys and girls, remember at the beginning of the story? It was not the sun in the sky. If I remember correctly, who remembers? It was the full moon in the sky making light. Now it's morning and the sun rose. "Hello, house," said Sam, and they went inside, kicking snow off their boots. Mrs. Bear poured cocoa in cups. Some people call cocoa hot chocolate. It's tasty. And they wriggled their toes in their fat socks, enjoying their cakes with cocoa. As their bellies filled up, they took turns telling stories. Stories about a bear called Sam, who takes cakes all by himself to his friends. And they all love his cakes so much. And that's what happened one winter morning on Plum Street. The end. Even the hawk has something tasty to eat.